I can't even begin to tell you how dangerous this act is. First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this.
This video is brought to you by Birch Gold, brought to you by Birch Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, inflation is real. I don't care what they tell you. We are in a recession. I don't care what they tell you. They lie to us every single day, and we all know the truth. But if you got your money tied up in the market or in USD, then you probably need to reconsider. But it's not too late for you to take action now. And you can work with Birch Gold because they will help you get the job done. All you have to do is go to birchgold.com/Tatum, and they'll send you a free no obligation info kit on diversifying and protecting your savings with precious metals. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, and thousands of satisfied customers, secure your future with gold with Birch Gold. Text or don't text, you need to go to the website. Link is in the description section. birchgold.com/Tatum, birchgold.com/Tatum. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to get your finances in order, and Birch Gold can help you do just that. I'm not the expert, they are. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. We have to talk about the cash bail that they are going to eliminate and all of the slew, I notice I said that right, the slew of other crimes that they're going to overlook in lieu of the elimination of cash bails, police reform, and everything that's going on in Illinois. For the life of me, I do not understand what the overarching mission is here. There is no way whatsoever that it makes any sense for there to be an extreme focus on criminals and no focus on the victims. So now they're worried about people who go to jail who can't afford to pay cash bail. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be committing crimes in the first place. If you ain't got no money, you shouldn't be committing no crimes. I would argue you shouldn't commit a crime if you had money or not, but you especially shouldn't be finding yourself committing crimes and then want the public to feel sorry for you because you can't afford to bail out. And I know that we are presumed innocent until proven guilty. However, there is this thing called probable cause, which gives law enforcement officers the right to arrest you. What do you need to develop probable cause? Meaning that a reasonable person, given the circumstances that are presented, would believe that you committed a crime, right? That means if you got blood all over you and you got what the perceived is a murder weapon in your hand and a person is laying dead in front of you and witnesses are saying you shot the person, it is reasonable to believe that you committed the crime. Therefore, they have developed probable cause. They can arrest you. Now, when you get to court, somehow they find out that everybody was lying and that the gun mysteriously got in your hand and somebody threw blood on you while you was falling asleep on Molly, then therefore that's how it's going to work. But other than that, it's called probable cause. Let me let you guys listen to what Candace Owens said, because I think Candace Owens has a tremendous pulse when it comes to these things. I would have her on, but I know she just had a baby, and I want her to be able to, not be running around like a chicken with a head cut off while she got a little one at home. So I'm just going to play the clip that she was on when she made this statement. Roll clip 5.
For whatever reason, people keep thinking that we need to prioritize making sure that the prisons are emptied. Why would we want the prisons to be emptied? In my opinion, what it looks like when you hear these stories is that we don't have enough people in these prisons. If these people were actually in prison, we wouldn't be having these innocent victims killed on the street. I mean, this woman, she's the same age as me, Eliza, same age as me, also has 2 children. I cannot imagine what her family is going through. And yet these people don't have compassion for them, because for them it's about the numbers. Look, our prison doesn't have too many people in it, so that means that I'm a good politician. No, it means you're a horrific politician, because you would allow these people to roam freely, these violent criminals to roam freely on the streets, when they're clearly telling you that they do not know how to function in a polite society. These people should be behind bars. We're getting to a point right now where you have to ask the question, are they doing this intentionally? Are these people intentionally trying to destroy America under the guise of compassion? And I think the answer is absolutely they are.
100%. They're either stupid or evil or both. It really makes no sense. Now, the legislation that I'm speaking about is called a Safety Act. The Safety Act is multifaceted. Let me just give you a couple examples of some of the crimes that are going to be allowed for a person to not get cash bail. They can commit these crimes and not have cash bail. Burglary, robbery, arson, kidnapping, almost all of the drug offenses, even drug distribution, DUI offenses, even DUI offenses that are involved or that involves a fatality. I mean, we can go down the list. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of them. I got a clip of a man who was speaking about it, and he was very passionate. I don't even remember his name. I just seen it going viral. He was very passionate about some of the other things that people are being charged with, or that may be charged with, that they'll get right out of jail. I mean, how do you kidnap somebody and then somehow they find that it's appropriate that you don't have to pay cash to be bailed out? And let me just explain this to you. They try to say, well, you have to be proven to be a threat to a specific person or people. You have to be proven to be a threat to a specific person or people. Now, just imagine if you killed somebody. Let's just say you got into it with your wife and you killed her. Well, you're no longer a threat to her because she dead. Does that make sense that you should be able to be let out, given the fact that they can't prove that you're a danger to anybody else but her now that she's dead? I mean, it's the overwhelming, convincing. I got to figure out the terminology of the evidence that they have to be responsible for presenting in order to hold a person without letting them out on bail. See, it used to be a situation where the judge could look at your criminal record and say, bruh, you've been here 15 times already. You are a danger to the public. If you get you got a DUI and you kill somebody, if you were to drive a car from now until the time that you go to court, you could potentially kill more people. You are not allowed to be out unless you can pay a lot of money to get out, which deters people or eliminates the possibility for them to just walk out of jail. But they allow you to get an aggravated DUI. You know, an aggravated DUI consists of a person having multiple DUIs. Multiple. Not just one, multiple. And in some states, aggravated DUI is the extent in which the DUI you have, meaning that if you blew a .3 something, which you are 3 times the legal limit, that could be an aggravated DUI. Now let me get to these charges here, because I sent them to my producer, and I don't know why I can't find them. So aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing from police, arson, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, second-degree murder, and threatening a public official. All of those things are a part of the non-detainable offenses with the no cash or elimination of cash bail. That's not all that they've done in this particular legislation. They're now going through the gamut and starting to what they call to be criminal justice reform in law enforcement. They're banning chokeholds. They're mandating everybody have a body-worn camera on. Have a body-worn camera in their agency. Not just having a body-worn camera in their agency, but having a body-worn camera turned on the entire time that you are on duty, except for extreme situations. Now, let me just tell you guys this, because I know a lot of people may not know everything about body-worn cameras. The expensive part of body-worn cameras isn't necessarily just the camera. It's the storage of the footage. When you are having thousands of officers record tens of thousands of hours of video, you have to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to store all of that footage. And all of that footage has to be stored for a particular dispensation of time, or a particular period of time, because you may need to go back a certain amount of days, given a complaint or an investigation, to go and review that footage. So you're talking about holding this footage on a server for an extended period of time, probably tens of thousands of hours of footage by thousands of officers that's going to cost the city hundreds of millions of dollars. For what? For what? You only need to turn the body-worn camera on when you are in a conflict or a situation. And we should have grace for officers in case they didn't push it. Because normally when you're in a high, intense situation, there's multiple officers, somebody would have pushed their camera. They don't want to give any grace to police officers. Anonymous complaints is another thing they don't want to do with criminal justice reform. Anonymous complaints. Now, most police departments answer every single complaint, right? They say, hey, if somebody filed a complaint, but you have to identify yourself in order for you to make a legitimate complaint. And the police officer who's getting complained against have to know where the complaint is coming from. It's only reasonableness and fairness that we're considering here. But now that they say that you can be anonymous complaint, it can be an anonymous complaint, you open up the floodgates for criminals to interfere in an investigation. Just imagine this. If an officer go out and arrest your baby daddy, now all of y'all married and y'all perfect. I'm talking about somebody on another show. The officer arrests your baby daddy. He goes to jail. You file an anonymous complaint on him and say that officer has a history of racism and he was racially biased to you. And now you get that officer under investigation. The officer don't know that that's the baby mama. He don't have access to that information. Hold the phone. I'll be back after the doggone break. I'm running out of real estate with the what is it called? The Safety Act. And I just think it is so destructive to what America is all about. And I don't know why they're hell-bent on destroying this country and making things much worse. When you look at it, I got a clip that I want to play because there's a gentleman there. I think he's a politician. He was sitting in front of the seat that says mayor on it. I don't know if he was the actual mayor. I think he is. He was the actual mayor that alluded to his concerns about the Safety Act. Roll a clip.
I can't even begin to tell you how dangerous this act is. First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses.
Now think about that. You got to tell me again, Sean, what city he's the mayor of. Orland Park. Okay, Orland Park in Illinois. I mean, it's crazy. You know, some of the things that he said, they can't remove trespassers. I want you to think about this for a minute. They can give them a citation, but they can't physically remove a trespasser from your house. If a homeless person is in your yard, or just say a neighbor is in your yard, y'all getting into an argument, they're going to stand in your yard and give you the middle finger or jump in your backyard. You have to then remove that person. Now, if you remove that person and you hurt them, you beat them up, if you white and they black, you going to jail. If both of them black, nobody's going to show up. But these things are traumatic. On January 1st of 2023, there's going to be over 400 criminals let out of jail. They're going to be just let clean out of jail with, well, this is what they mean by let out of jail, right? They're not sentenced yet. These are people that are being held until they get a court date because they've committed crimes. And when they implement the no cash bail, they're going to just allow these people to just get out of jail until their court date. Now, just imagine this. People with DUIs, all this other stuff. They're going to be out into the public committing crimes. Some of them are what we call habitual crime committers. And according to the cash bail reversal, You have to clear and convincing evidence is what it's called. Clear and convincing evidence that this person is a danger to others. It's almost impossible to figure that out. And you only have about, what they say, 48 hours to figure that out. And if you can't figure that out in 48 hours, they're out. And this is the problem. It circumvents law enforcement, because you go out as a police officer, put your life in danger, arrest this guy who kidnapped somebody, and then they go to jail and they let him out. And they go out and kidnap somebody again, and you go and try to find them. This time you can't find them because they killed the person they kidnapped, and now they're on the run. And then they're going to be mad at the police officers because they're going to say, well, the police officers aren't doing their job. No, it's not the police officers aren't doing their job. It's that the politicians want to rub the backs in the back of the head of the criminals and tell them everything's going to be okay. This is not the way you implement reform for criminal behavior. You don't look at it and say, yeah, our stats are going to show that we made less arrests this year, that we have less people in the prison system. We have less people. That's not a stat that the people who have to live in these communities care about. They care about, am I going to get raped and robbed before I make it home? Or people are going to be squatting in my house or on my residence? Or, will I have police that can support me and fight the battles?